back. I am live, guys. This was kind of a spontaneous decision because Apollo has a free day from his radiation treatment. And guys, you won't believe it how warm it is here right now. And I have a little bit of a weird angle because the table that I'm sitting at is really way down. So let me try to figure this out. It's a little bit shaky because I don't really have a studio here. If you would see where I'm placing my cell phone right now, it's basically on a salad bowl, and I have a little tripod, and there is the cell phone, and yeah, that's where you guys are standing right now. So I know this is a spontaneous live, not a scheduled one, so sorry for that. So many of you might miss it, but it's always uploaded and you can watch it later. So yeah, I'm really glad that we have a day off or 2 days off. It's weekend from Apollo's radiation. Hey Samantha, Patricia, that's great to see you, because I'm really tired driving around with the RV every day. The circles around my eyes got bigger and bigger every day. I'm not wearing makeup today, so this is what you get. Jonathan, hey. William, hey. Amanda, hey. Lee, Jonathan. Butterfly, hey, how are you doing? Butterfly, check out Butterfly's YouTube channel. This was an interesting mixture that you made there. I saw your short, that lotion you made there. Very interesting. Good stuff. Shirley, hi. Hi to Alabama, in Christ alone. Hey guys, great. 75 guys already, although this is not a scheduled live. That is really great, guys. I'm happy to see you here. And yeah, so I wanted to use the chance to give you a little bit of an update about Iceland today, because it's really rumbling there. So yeah, it's interesting. The eruption just ended there in the Sutuka crater series. We know that. But, you know, we also know that the Reykjanes Peninsula has woken up from an 800-year dormancy. Hey, liebe Grüße aus Thüringen. Grüße zurück to Germany, to Thüringen. Oh, William, you went to college in Pullman. Everything there is uphill. It is uphill. Yeah, that's for sure. Look behind you, that dog's back. Yeah. Wasn't that a story with the doggy yesterday? If you have seen that video that I released, that doggy was really something, guys. She was circling the RV, and then she was really, when I was trying to drive out, you can't really see it that intense in the video. She was walking at my window, looked at me, and then walked in front of the RV and did lay down there. I could not move. She was really like, you have to drive me over. Then I called her. She looks back at me and she goes right back there. So I was like, that dog, hello to Texas, Cynthia. That dog was really trying to tell me something. And, you know, I'm a dog lover. I did not want to leave that dog alone. There's coyotes here, and a few coyotes can easily harm that dog or even kill it. Hey, C3. Hey, Shitsopara, that's an interesting name. Pokusu, Labs are very smart dogs. Yes, they are. I mean, you know, I have a collie too, Charlie. He looks like Lessie. He's smart too, but that dog was really communicating. And then it came to me and it was pushing me while I was making that tall volcano video. And that's why I always said the two videos are connected. The dog story video, if you haven't seen it, go to my playlist. I have a playlist that is special for the RV travel that I'm doing right now to save my dog Apollo's life with radiation therapy. And thank you guys for supporting his vet bills, for helping me out with this. You guys are saving his life because I could not have done it. So, yeah, so... Oh, Butterfly, you thought I'm taking another fur baby home. Yeah, you know, she had a collar and she had a tag, but if the owner doesn't want her anymore, I would take her. She was just gorgeous and she was so nice. Shitsupara, Jan, that's a nice name. That sounds German, by the way. Greetings from Tasmania. Oh, yeah, beautiful Tasmania, Australia. I really, really love it. Yeah, the fur babies are doing okay. Thank you so much. Cosmo, hi. So, yeah, guys, where was I? I think I was in Iceland, right? Um, it's rumbling in several volcanic systems. You've seen my videos about Bada Bunga, an earthquake magnitude 5 point something, and that's a large volcanic area. But I saw something today that I want to show you. I can't show you maps really, but maybe I can just turn the phone around and show you where this is. Hi, Liam. Um, so there is an earthquake magnitude 3.3, and now I'm trying to pronounce this right, Hofsjökull Glacier. So this is not the Vatnajökull area that we've been talking about with Bardabunga recently, where these earthquakes were. This is basically, Bardabunga is here, the Reykjanes Peninsula is here. This is basically another glacial area in the middle of Iceland. And over the last 48 hours in this area, the earthquake activity underneath whole Iceland has been comparatively high everywhere. So there were 105 earthquakes recorded. I mean, that's not the record high, but it's something, if we look at it, it looks significant. Hey, Dave from New Zealand, and thank you for wishing us good luck. Hi, Lisa, nice to see you. Thank you, C3. Hey, Marcia. Hey, Ronnie. So 105 earthquakes underneath Iceland. And maybe I'm able to show you that map here that the Icelandic Meteorological Office has released. I don't know if you can see it. This is the earthquake that I'm talking about. And let me put this back here. I don't want to disturb other people, because today it's a little bit more busy here because it's weekend. I've had some people walking around. There's some people sitting on the picnic tables. So this is for what this area usually is. It's quite busy, but you know, if you do YouTube for quite a while, you're starting to get a thicker skin, like walking around talking to a phone. It was very weird at the beginning. I thought maybe people think I'm crazy, just sitting right now on a table talking, but you know, now I'm a little bit better like this, so I'm just talking. Poco, thanks for praying for my puppy. Hi to the UK. I'm in good spirits, AJ. Thank you. Thanks, Amanda. So let's talk about Iceland again. So magnitude 3.3. This is in the higher ranges. That could tell us that something is going on, right? And the equine. I'm talking horse too much. I always have horses circulating in my head. So the epicenter of this earthquake at Hofsjökull was beneath the Hofsjökull glacier. And that tells us something, right? This is a volcano there. That's basically 26 kilometers northeast of something that I am having problems to pronounce. Höveralvelja. So there's a thermal area near Höveralvelja, or whatever this is pronounced, that is attributed to a volcanic system that is called Langjökull system. So another subglacial volcano like the Vatnajökull area with the Bardabunga volcanoes. Yeah, my horses are missing me. I'll tell you what my horses are doing while I'm gone in a minute. Subglacial volcano. Okay, I hear more people behind me. Whatever. So that subglacial volcano has been active several times in the last few months. So not an isolated incident. So it's really in the same area again and again since the last few weeks. So that's why, and here it comes. The geoscientists, the volcanologists believe that this area could become active. Active, right? Active volcano because of the rumbling that is continuously showing. So there, how can I say this? They're thinking that it's slowly becoming active. So not super quickly. We won't see an explosion or an eruption tomorrow, but something's moving. And if they're saying it's becoming more active slowly, maybe magma is rising up, maybe there is a magma chamber filling, who knows? Yeah, Poker, I'm not talking to myself. I'm just thinking out loud. Yeah, it's still like I hear the people talking behind me. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Yeah, Lisa, it's waking up, but then it would not be the only one, right? I mean, imagine for Iceland, they just said the Reykjanes Peninsula could be active for like decades or centuries. We could even see more simultaneous eruptions. And then we have the Bardarbunga system that is not located on the Reykjanes Peninsula. That's in a different area of Iceland. And now in this area, that is basically right in the middle of Iceland. So if all that becomes active and it's like, well, eruptions here, there, here, this could get really messy. And, you know, they were just lucky with the last eruption that they could save the Blue Lagoon and the Svartsengi power plant, but more the Blue Lagoon, in my opinion. And I've told it to you in my videos. They're saying we only need one more in a bad spot, and these defense walls will not hold. So now in the middle, right in the middle of Iceland. And we cannot say that this is because the land is rising underneath Svartsengi and this is just some tension that is spreading in other areas. The land rise underneath Svartsengi in that magma chamber basically just started again. It's not far. There's not really much pressure in there. I really wonder what these people that are around me, they're thinking, what is she talking about? Magma chambers and stuff like this. Tommy rubs for Apollo. Thank you so much. I'll definitely do that. Yeah, Butterfly, everything's going bunkers, right? Yeah. So, and by the way, guys, since I now have 198 of you here, have you heard about these drones that are everywhere? What are you thinking about this? So, you know, I was just thinking this is some bogus, and I really don't think it's extraterrestrial, but it's showing up everywhere, not only in the US, right? I think today or yesterday there were some in Canada and in Europe. So what do you think, guys? Are the aliens coming? I don't know. So let me read some of your comments. Oh yeah, some ask about the horses. So they keep breaking through their fences. They're taking advantage if I'm not there. Good thing is they can't leave the property, but you know, I'm not really sleeping very well right now because Apollo has these mucus issues and he makes the noise at night. So I'm making sure he's on the right side sleeping, and so I'm always half awake, and then my cell phone does like plop plop plop, and I'm like, what is it? Motion detection, motion detection. And I see, oh, it's the outside cameras, right? It's not inside the house. And then I look at the video and the pictures and I see a white horse butt, white with black dots. And I know my lead mare, she broke through the fence again. And then she takes everyone with her. The other ones, they wouldn't do it, but she does it, right? And then she goes to the other pastures, encourages the geldings to stomp with their legs, tearing down the next fence, and then they're all running around happily ever after on these little grassy areas that I have that I'm trying to make look nice, that are not horse pasture, and they're trampling around, making it look like a polo field that you have to put the grass back in. So this mare is really something, and I'm always like, but the problem is I can't get rid of her because I named her after my mom, which is crazy. But I was making jokes with friends that are breeding horses, and we said, hey, the next horse we name after your dad and after your mom. And so I did that, so I can't get rid of her, but she drives me crazy. But on the other hand, she's very intelligent, so that's why she does this. Right? Yeah, Dave. Dave is saying you can't tell me that with all the technology that America has, that they can't say what these drones are. Yeah, that's what I would think, right? This is what it's strange. I mean, they're showing up everywhere. My first thought was, is this from China? We've had these spy balloons going over Canada and going over the US. I'm just wondering why don't they shoot it down and see what it is? It should be pretty easy. It's weird. I really don't know what I should make out of this, in which corner I should put this. Um, what else did I want to tell you? Um, yeah, Iceland. So this is something that we definitely have to watch, guys, and I will give you daily updates about the earthquake activity so that we can look at these earthquake maps, because I don't expect much from the Reykjanes Peninsula right now. This eruption just ended. It needs to refill. But the Vatnajökull area, and now this new area, and then another area that's closer to the capital, to Reykjavik, in the Bláfjöll ski area, that volcanic system has been rumbling last year and this year a little bit. And we know that Thorvaldsen, I like the guy, although he's wrong many times, but the others are wrong too. And he always has a little bit of a beef with the Icelandic Met Office. So he's University of Iceland. And it seems they have some problem working together, because he once said, well, we should work together a little bit more and make the data sharing more efficient, because he says something, they're saying something else. But he said, hey guys, think about building defense walls in the outskirts of Reykjavik, for example. Like, he was proposing something, if I remember it right, have like garden fences, like lead or something, that would prevent the lava. So that's something that we've seen in January in Grindavik, when these 3 homes were destroyed by the lava, that this could be diverted. Kind of crazy, but he also says protect other power plants. And I think he's right, because, the last northern eruption, not the last one, but the one before, it was flowing really far north, where there is this highway that connects Reykjavik with the main airport, Keflavik, and it was threatening to flow over that road. And these eruptions, if they're going further north, they still do. And then remember, there was this old US military field that still has buried bombs and stuff like this. So the lava was flowing over those areas. I'm like, this is really crazy, absolutely crazy. Cosmo 244 watching, only 28 likes. Well, yeah, guys, really. Hey, 224. 24 is a number that I really like. So hey, give it more likes to send this video out. Guys, come on. Yeah. Butterfly says she's seeing 88 likes. I have to see. This is stupid, because what I'm seeing myself, and I see the white sky behind me, and right here in white letters, I see how many people are watching and how many likes. 110, guys. Okay, 110 likes. Here we go. Let's make it 120, guys. Come on. Okay, 117. We're getting closer, guys. Come on, you can do it. So if we have 218 people watching, let's get 218 likes. 124. 24, that's my favorite number. So guys, you're doing good. Just liked. Hey, in Christ alone. Thank you. Hit the like button. Dave, good job, guys. I have to get you active here a little bit. So that you have to do something. That's your morning, well, depending where you are, morning, afternoon, evening routine. So the weather is so great today. I was driving here last night. It was dark and I was really tired. And I thought, today's the day off from the treatment, and maybe I'll just sleep as long as I sleep, right? And but then I look outside and the sun is shining, and I'm like, oh, almost all the time that I've been here, the sun wasn't shining, and I'm like, you got to get out if the sun is shining. So I haven't really slept that much, but a little bit more, and it's not shining right now, but it's really, really warm. It's really, really nice. There's no wind, so it's beautiful. So I thought Okay, guys, I'm going live because I think the background that you see right now, it's just amazing. And this has volcanic origin, what's behind me, these Palouse Hills. And I'm planning, I hope I have time to make a video about this. Um, really detailed about what's going on here. Um, it was really windy and warm today in the West Coast, C 127. Really windy? Yeah, you can say that, guys. I've been watching my cameras. I had some stuff flying around on the property, which is really, really crazy. And it was really destroying a few things. So I have this, it's an old glass table, outdoor glass table was flying in the air and then flying down. Now there's glass all over the place. So when I'm back home, I already know there's lots of things to do. Hey, Dave, thank you. Hey, what are the likes doing? 167. So we have 223 people, guys. I see you. 223. Come on, press it. Hey, Jonathan, I'm warm here in Saskatoon. I got up to +6 today. That is cool. Isn't this nice? But, you know, people that live in Canada, it's like if it's -15, right? We were walking around in flip-flops and shorts. Um, too cold for me, Jonathan. Hey, Butterfly, where you are, isn't it cold there as well? So, yeah, very warm in Oregon. Yeah, Oregon has a nice climate. If it's like not in the backcountry, everything I find like coastal, of course, but there it's windy, but like Salem, this area from Eugene to the Portland area where there's the Willamette Valley. It's a beautiful area in Oregon, like beautiful farms. This is one of my most favorite areas here on the West Coast. It's absolutely gorgeous. Jonathan, -29 Fahrenheit or Celsius? Both is bad. Both is bad. Now this stupid cell phone of mine that I'm filming with is telling me that it has low battery already, only 20% left, and I started out with 80%. So I don't know why going live on YouTube is draining so much battery, but I am outside here on a campground. I have no electricity right now, just my laptop and you guys, that's all. And you know, before I was going live, I was working on a video about a village that's called Rocca Monfina. And this is very interesting, guys, because that's a volcano and you should really watch that video. But it'll take me a few hours to prepare it, but don't miss it. Hey, 227 people. We have 185 likes. Guys, come on, get going. Yeah, what else? Have you heard about the Chile earthquake? That was a 6.4 in a volcanic region. So that is always something that is also not so nice. That was a strong earthquake along the border to Argentina, and there's nearby volcanoes. Yeah, Jonathan says Celsius here in Canada. You know, in Canada, it's supposed to be metric, like temperature is in Celsius. You're driving kilometers per hour. You should measure in meters and not in feet or inches or something, but nobody really does when it comes to measuring things. That's what I figured. Coming from Europe, I thought, yeah, that's easy. So I go and I talk to contractors and I say, yeah, let's do this like 20 meters long. And they're like, what is that? What is that? Is that like 10 feet? I'm like, I don't know. So I'm still having problems to twist that, but you know how I do this? I have points of references. So indoor riding arenas, and this might sound crazy. So the common measurements are 30 meters wide and 60 meters long. So that's why I learned 30 meters is 100 feet, and you know, 60 meters is 200 feet. And then dressage is 20 meters by 60 meters. So I know 20 meters is like 70 feet, some say 65, 70. So that's how I know it. So I know 100 feet is 30 meters. And so I'm really measuring in riding arena sizes to find my ways. It's kind of crazy. So I know if something's 15 meters long, okay, that's half the short side of an indoor arena. That's probably 50 feet. And I think it's starting to rain right now. 3 feet per meter, Richards. I think something like this. I think a little bit more. Hey, hello, Mr. Palat. Leave this a like. We're a few likes short. We're 36 likes short to have the same number of likes as people here in this chat. So, Caitlin Rose, I do dressage and I do jumping, but I tell you, I don't do dressage the way many other people do it. I do it to highest levels, but you might have noticed my horses are out on the pastures in herds 24/7. They don't wear shoes. They're not clipped. They're not blanketed. They're completely natural. And I don't use any of these horrible torture techniques that are recently in the news. And I have to say, many of that stuff, most of that stuff, I've never seen it or have never heard about it. And you know, when I came to North America, the hunter riding thing with these hunter jumpers, we don't have that in Europe. And people tell me, oh, that horse has his tail nerves cut and he's sedated and he has this and he has earplugs. And what else do they do? And lots of bullshit. So my horses are my partners and they are my friends. And I'm doing this different. I've been an advocate for horse welfare all my life. I've been terrorized because of this, guys. I can tell you, when I was a kid and I had a horse boarded at a stable and I wanted the window open because I knew already at that time most horses die of bad stable air, of respiratory issues, because the bedding, they pee, they poop, and that's ammoniac that comes out. They were torturing my horse because I had an open window. So it was bad, and it still is. So yeah, what can I say? But that's not only in the horse industry, it's everywhere. Tanuki, yeah, I'm originally German. J 3.3, which one are you talking about? The 3.3 underneath the tongue breaker? Hofsjökull in Iceland. In the middle of Iceland, underneath a volcano in the middle of Iceland. So if that goes off, not too good. Moleskine films. I'm an old hunter jumper. We rode retired rodeo horses, retrained. They're wonderful. That sounds wonderful. But what do you think about the modern hunter scene? I always feel like it's like, pardon me saying, but some of them, not all of them. I'm seeing good rides now, but they look like desperate people that really want to ride but are too scared technically to jump. So the horses have to be lunched for hours, sedated, so that they do this slow stuff. And people are sitting there. I'm always like, they look like they have to go to the toilet in this strange seat, no balance, no connection. And I'm always saying, if the horse stops, they will fall over. So, but let's not get into horse talk, guys. I'll bore you too much. Did you hear about the Queen of England whose heart broke over how her horses were broken? Cowboy met the Queen and their training methods changed to gentle training and no breaking. Yes, that was Monty Roberts. And I've been very much into this before Monty Roberts got famous, because I met a cowboy in my German barn that everyone ridiculed. But they're like, oh, we're dressage riders, we're jumpers. But there was this cowboy from Texas. And I'm like, are you American? How cool. Tell me what you're doing. And he was training his horses without force. And everyone was laughing about him. I said, tell me what you're doing, because this we can transfer to dressage, to jumping. And he showed me, and he did like this. Horse turns around, walks into the trailer. He did like this, and this horse walks downstairs. Without force, horse does travers, horse does stuff. And he saw my horse, the one that I had at that time, and he said, that horse is intelligent. Can I train it? I'm like, yeah. So he trained with me, and the whole barn was laughing about us. But he set the roots, and he was actually helping that Monty Roberts guy preparing the horses. So he was the man behind, and I really cherish that guy. He's one of the best horsemen in the world. How many more treatments? Yeah, I'm trying to find out because it has varied quite a bit. So the problem that we have with the radiation, how his tumor is located, it's 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 growing further back than we saw on the pictures. We see that on the CT. So it's his upper palatal growing into the throat, but also growing mainly into his left nose, clogging that completely. And what they told me, if they do too much radiation, there is the risk that a hole might be created between his throat area and his nose area, and that's a problem then, because they would have to try to do another surgery to close this, to put artificial skin over it, and the chances are not so good. So we're trying to avoid that with too much radiation, but on the other hand, enough radiation to destroy that tumor. They told me that there's always the option to do an additional chemotherapy, but I guess we will have to see, right? They first told me 95% chance that we get rid of that tumor completely. So that's what I am hoping for. Oh, Lisa, you say you have pro riders and then you have equestrians who are all for the horse and not the paycheck. Yeah, that's true. There are some pro riders that are like this too, I have to say, but not too many. Thank you, Butterfly, for praying. Sherry, I don't want to say that I only have a dressage background, because dressage is too boring. I've jumped the highest heights in jumping. I dressage and jumping to the highest levels. That's what I train my horses. I do everything. I also do cross country, but not cross country, not the high levels, just for fun. It's too dangerous for the horse. But I do both. I'm not one or the other. Every horse that I have does both. And the dressage horses, they jump at least 1.10 meters. So that was the original German training that horses should have had. Even in the dressage test, there was a test at the end. You had to have a jump, 1.10 meters or something like this. But yeah, back to Apollo. So we will have to see. The thing is, it'll take a few weeks and months till we see how the tumor responds. So it's not that after every radiation treatment, a piece of the tumor is going to be gone. That's the problem. So the tumor starts going away after a few months or weeks. So they already told me that I have to come back here for, how you call it, like, have another CT scan and check on him in probably 3 to 4 months after the treatment has ended. No sulky racing. No, 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 I have never done that. Voltage, no, I've never done that professionally. I've done that as a kid on my horses. Probably didn't look like this, but done weird stuff on the horse, right? Yeah, thank you, YH Mountain, for thinking about Apollo. The treatment's working well so far. I can say that he's barking again. So he hasn't done that for a few weeks. Whenever he wanted to bark, this was irritating him, and he started to cough, and it was really uncomfortable. So now he's barking again. So that's a good sign. We will see how this goes. And they also told me the real side effects will start after the treatment ended, and probably not right now. And yeah, we will see how that goes then. Who's making all the noise in the background, Jay? That's the wolves in the RV. That is Eddie and Woody, basically. I don't think Apollo's barking that much. They hate it when I'm somewhere else and I'm not taking them. So they're really persistent. I'm worried, should I ever be in a campground where there's people camping next to me and they're doing this? Not good. Hey guys, I see this up here. 227 people watching, 234 likes. That is really great. But now we have more likes than people watching, so we need more people watching. No, but my battery's dying. It tells me just 10%. I don't know if I can scroll back the comments here. Yeah, I'm trying. When you think you'll be back in BC? I don't know yet. Maybe before Christmas or maybe a few days after Christmas. I'll have to, I really don't know yet. Now this is weird. Now I scrolled the comments. Now they don't keep scrolling themselves. You have a solar charger and it works awesome. Yeah, Butterfly. You know, there's a table closer to the RV where I could sit and I have power. But as you can hear Eddie and Woody barking, that would be really, really annoying. It is already quite annoying, right? So that's why I'm sitting out here. Originally, I just thought I take the laptop, I'm recording my video about the Rocca Monfina volcano, and I did that. And then I was thinking, wow, the weather is so nice and this background is so nice. So I thought, you know what? I'm going live and I see, you know, spontaneously how many of you guys are up, how many can I catch? And I've got some fly or something here underneath my hat. I don't know. Yeah, solar charger, definitely. And there's solar panels on the RV, I just noticed, so that's really good. Weird about the dog. Let me talk about this. So the clinic recommended, because I am sort of barfing the dogs, right? They get ground meat from grass-fed cows from my neighborhood, veggies and stuff like this. They get some sardines, but basically stuff from my farm garden. And they said, oh, it's healthier if you could feed them kibbles. And they said Purina, Royal Canin, and I think something else. And I'm like, is that really better? They said it's better for Apollo, for an older dog. And you know, it's not that I don't want to do it, but there's been so many mycotoxins from the grains in the dog food and some recalls, really, really bad, dogs dying from it. And it's basically junk. If you even touch these kibbles, they're full of fat. And I don't know. I'm torn in between, because I know here in North America, Royal Canine basically is in every vet clinic. They sell this as like a veterinarian food. But I know I've read many bad things about it, and that it's not really at the highest level. So, and you're always suspicious, right? These brands, if they're in every veterinary clinic that I've seen in Canada, I don't know about the US. Are these big companies paying off the veterinarians to sell that and say this is specially formulated? Because I know in Germany, let me know, guys, in your country, Royal Canine, you buy this in the supermarket. It's just normal stuff. And also in Canada, it's normal in normal pet stores. It's not sold under like specialty stuff. They have other sections where they say they have some specialty stuff. Yeah, you said, my opinion, your dogs are healthy and don't change. Well, they said, you know, and that's a kind of strange thing. They said before we started treatment that Apollo has some kind of weak, not bad, heart murmur, where they think, yeah, that can come from grain-free diet, but he's not getting a grain-free diet, right? He's getting carbs. And so that's why they said, because of that, go to commercial kibbles. And I'm like, well, the thing is, in the last 3 years, he has even eaten quite a bit of commercial kibbles, because Eddie's 3, Woody's 2, when they were babies, the breeder they came with being on Royal Canine. So while they were growing up, I kept that. And then Apollo, of course, he got that too. So over the last 3 years, he's eaten a lot of that, because they say, well, put him on these kibbles like Royal Canine or Purina. Purina, for example, there have been recalls with the horses, contaminated horse. You know, I don't feed my horses anything like that. They get hay and grass. That's it. 24/7, as much as they want. But they're moving around on the pastures as well. Yeah, heart murmur, Fair Isle is probably due to his age. Yeah, he's 13 and a half, right? And it's not bad even. And so, Yeah, I'm really not. I think I want to talk to them again, and I want to say, you're at the source of the research. It's hard to believe that this is really better. But on the other hand, guys, I have to tell you, my first Westie was on kibbles, on pedigree. We didn't know better. He was 15 and a half years old. He died of a weak heart. Um, Fetty, Apollo's brother, died at the age of 10 of aggressive osteosarcoma in the mouth. My colleagues, Charlie, he eats kibbles because that's what he can eat the best all his life. He's 13 and a half. He's super healthy. His brother, that was also eating kibbles, died of cancer, huge tumor at the shoulder at the age of 7. So, you know, it's hard to tell, right? Apollo has cancer now. I think a lot is genetic. Probably it doesn't matter what you eat. I don't know. Lamb and rice kibble. Yeah, you know, that's also a thing. A veterinarian once told me, if you have to feed kibble, don't feed kibble with chicken because they're full of antibiotics and hormones and the worst shit, right? So if I do this, I avoid chicken or poultry. I'm going with lamb if I can, because that is mostly grass-fed, I believe. I think lamb, do they really like to eat all that grain? Suzanne, I buy supermarket food but grain-free food. Suzanne, Google that, and that has been really been published for a few years. That it seems if you only feed grain-free food, that it's not so good for the dogs and that they really get heart problems. So there's quite a few studies out there. I've looked into this and it looks legit. So Google it and give them some food with grains. It seems they really need that. Mutts are the best genetically. Mule Skinner, what are mutts? I don't know what that is. Yeah, Poco, please do. Maybe it's a Westie thing. Yeah, they're white. And I know everything that's white with horses, for example, the gray horses, they have something that Apollo has now on their tails. I have one white horse that has it in his throat. Inoperable. He has had it for years, but he's still alive. He's still happy. But the problem for Apollo is it's such a bad location because usually you can take it away with surgery. It's a plasmacytoma, and they're usually on the outside of the body. You take it away and then you're good. But where his is, you can't operate it. You'd have to take his jaw. Is not possible, right? So that's why we're running into these problems. Open farm, lamb and rice, segmenta, okay. Mixed breeds, yes. They live longer and they're healthier, right? Liver is good for them. Yeah. There's and I love this. I discovered this recently in Vancouver. It was called Pet Grocer. I'm like, what's a pet grocer? That sounds interesting. So I stopped and I went in there. And it's for barfing, basically. So they have freezers where you have frozen chunks of liver, heart, lamb, beef, poultry, all grass-fed, all from Alberta, from farms, shrimps, fish, sardines, vegetable mixes, complete frozen raw food with everything in it. And you can take a bag like in a jelly candy store. Yeah, you can take 2 pieces of liver, 2 pieces of heart, and you can mix it and you can buy it. And that's really cool. So I bought some duck hearts and some liver from something, I don't know. You can buy all kinds of bones. It was really interesting, and it was not more expensive than conventional kibbles, because the kibbles can be quite expensive. Royal Canine is not that cheap. Kangaroo, yeah. Veronica, we have a supermarket here that sells kangaroo too. Ground kangaroo, and I've tried that with the doggies too. It's very expensive here though, that's the problem. And yeah, and you would think that the kangaroos, as they're not bred so commercially like cattle or poultry, that they're that they're free of all the bad stuff that they put into them, right? Um, oh, a pacemaker for a dog? Wow, interesting. I've never heard of that. Wow. Well, I hope that goes well. Fingers crossed for your doggy. That's amazing. Let me check your comments. You know, I even fed my fatty horse meat back in Germany. That might sound really crazy, but in Germany they're eating not a lot, it's not common, but in every salami, basically, in every pepperoni, as you call it here, there's horse meat. And my vet said as Fatty he couldn't eat the kibble, he was having bloody diarrhea and puking, and he said try canned horse meat. And you can buy in a normal pet store canned dog food with horse meat, because they said it's healthier, there's no shit in it. And it's true. In Germany you have a horse passport. That's the ownership, or says the owner, all the vaccinations, the medications that it's got. And when you get the passport, you have to declare made for slaughter or not to be slaughtered, should you ever have to make that decision to euthanize the horse or whatever. And if you declare it slaughter, it can only get certain medications, and the vets know that. So that's why he said try out horse meat. And I was like, I don't know, but everything for the dog. So I bought these canned horse meat, and he was doing good with it, but I can't get it here in Canada, right? But in Germany, that's a running gag under horse people. If a horse misbehaves, we're saying, well, you're going into the sausage, or you're going into the freezer. And I wasn't aware that they don't eat horses here in Canada. So I was making that joke, and everyone looked at me. Why in the freezer? But the sad thing is, from Canada, the horses, they go for slaughter to Japan in horrible, horrible transports, alive. Many of them die on the transports. It's the worst horse abuse ever. So that is really, really bad. That on a side note. So yeah, we came from volcanoes in Iceland to what is going on behind me, from Apollo to horse meat. That's an interesting conversation that we're having here today. Poco freeze-dried. I was in a store, I showed it to you in one of my videos from that series, RV Travel to Save My Dog. I have a playlist in case you haven't noticed, where you can look at these videos. There is a pet store in Moscow, Idaho, that doesn't have a name on the store. It just says pets are people too. Family owned since 1970s or something. So I thought that's really cute. So I went in there and I saw some freeze-dried dog food, and that did sound interesting. If it's freeze-dried, it's not so highly processed like kibbles. So yeah, oh, we're still talking about the kangaroo, poor kangaroos, but you know, let's see. Oh, you had mule skinner. My dog son Charlie lived to 16. Growing up, we had Labradors. Most all died from the same cancer. 16, what kind of dog was it? I think labs, you're not getting that old anymore, right? Like 9. I know the collies, the Charlie that I have, they can get 16 and older, and Charlie's 13 and a half, like Apollo, and he's doing fairly well. He has some arthritis in his hips, but other than that, BB, your Dackel, he's riding in Germany, kibbles and wet from, yeah, veggies and beef, 16 and a half years old. This year ist dein Hund am 16.12. gestorben, BB. Das tut mir wirklich leid, das ist furchtbar. Ich weiß, wie das ist. Es ist tough. So yeah, BB's dog was 16 and a half years old when it died just a few days ago. So I'm so sorry for that. My heart goes out to you. And yeah, he ate kibbles. So yeah, my oldest dog that I ever had, 15 and a half, Petty, my Westie, he got pedigree, kibbles, and cans. Well, more cans, I think. More canned food. But yeah, he was old, no cancer, nothing. So I don't know what it is. And you know, you can't really say dogs live longer now, that's why they're getting cancer. Because just today I looked at statistics. Actually, the lifespan of dogs is reduced again. Because this morning I saw a reel on Facebook of some woman saying, well, wolves, they don't die of cancer, they die of parvo, Lyme disease, and rabies. And she was trying to make that connection that it's the commercial dog food that is killing our dogs with cancer right now. But you know, you have to see wolves. How old are wolves? They're like 6 or 7 when they die, versus with modern medicine, our dogs, they are getting older. So is this why they're having more cancer, or are they exposed to more environmental poisons? I looked at this as well, right? If you're in your living room, or look at how many electronics you have there, TV, PlayStation, sound speakers, all computers, all that stuff, formaldehyde, these particles, as dust particles, they go on the ground. If the dog's sniffing around there, they're breathing this in. So yeah, what can you do, right? It could be everything. I really can't explain it, because Fetty and Apollo, they have gotten the best food, better than me, and they both have cancer, right? Fetty only at 10. Yeah, Gina, it's inoperable, but they told me, Apollo's, we're talking about Apollo's tumor again, but that's why we're here for the radiation treatment, because they told me it's like a 95% chance that this will be stopped, that the tumor is going away, and that he will have a normal life, a normal lifespan, so that he's not dying from this. Yeah, many swear by raw feeding, you know. I'm getting always half a cow from my neighbor, grass-fed, completely organic. I can see the cow, and then I get it from their butcher, portioned like ground meat, and I put it in the freezer. And then I give this to the dogs, but they also get potatoes, they get veggies from my veggie garden. And it's not that, you know, I'm like completely like crazy, oh, my dog eats only this. It's convenient, and it's cheaper than the commercial dog food. And it's, I thought, healthier, right? So that's why I'm doing it. And I've never had any issues. I know that the vets are saying, yeah, they can have salmonella and bacteria and whatever, and they can transfer this to you. Yeah, they're sleeping in my bed, but you know what? I am crawling in horse poop all day, in all kinds of gems. Is it called gems? Gems. Wouldn't that be nice? So recently, when we had the movie production, I think I was making a video with you guys. I was walking around my area, and someone from the movie production didn't know that I'm the owner of the property, and I was walking around filming, talking to you guys, and there was some horse poop, and I hear someone from behind, "Be careful! Watch out! Don't step in! Don't step in!" I'm turning around, I'm like, "What is it?" And she said, "There's horse poop! There's horse poop!" And I'm like, yeah, I'm walking around in this all day. I don't really care. I can lift it with my fingers. This is just, the horse poop is everywhere, right? I don't really care. So yeah. A. Jenkins, my 9-year-old labs and 5 cats are all fed biologically appropriate diets, prey model. They've been so much healthier. We'll never go back to kibble. Yeah, it's, you know, this is what I'm so struggling with. I've done the best diet for my 2 Westies. And I really thought, because I loved Fetty to death, I said, really, I was so sure that since my Westie that I was feeding with pedigree, kibble and can, got 15 and a half, I was so sure they would both be 17, 18. And then Fatty has this aggressive mouth tumor that killed him in just a few weeks at the age of 10. For a Westie that is usually has a lifespan, on paper they say 12 to 16 years, but I know many that are getting way older. So that was tough. And then Apollo he had some cancer on his testicles, so we had to castrate him 3 years ago. Then he had a plasmacytoma on his skin, just a little one. They told me that is not spreading. Now he has this plasmacytoma 2 years later that is really so has invasively grown. And yeah, I'm sitting here frustrated. What should I do? When the veterinarians are telling you you should feed kibble because that is better for your dog's heart and overall lifespan because that food is more balanced. And I'm wondering, okay, but what if I, you know, add some minerals and multivitamins to the diet that they're getting, which I am doing, not overly too much, but that's the same. And um, yeah, really, I'm sharing this with you. I sat there this morning Googling and thinking, what should I do? Right? And then, yeah, there's some studies that are saying, dogs deal with ultra processed food differently than humans do. For us, it causes cancer, it's very bad. For dogs, not so much, and they don't live long enough. And yeah, so far, the thing is, I can't say my statistics are Petty, 15 and a half years old with pedigree commercial dog food. Charlie, my collie, 13 and a half years old, healthy, hip arthritis, yes, but eats kibble, no problem. His brother ate kibble, died at the age of 7 of an aggressive tumor. Fatty at the age of 10. The weird thing is, though, Charlie, and I don't want to get into that vaccine topic because I do vaccinate my horses and I vaccinate my dogs. And but we went to a vet that, in hindsight, was a weird guy, and we wanted to vaccinate the dogs, and he was vaccinating them in the shoulder. And he said, "Oh yeah, for a collie, you should give this vaccination and that and this one." And I said, "Can you have them all together?" And so he vaccinated him in that spot. And I found something out because the tumor was in this spot. Could be coincidence. I asked my German vet and I said, "Is there a connection?" And he said, "Check the ingredients of the vaccinations that you're getting in Canada and in the US. They contain mercury for preservation, or that the ingredients have a better impact." And I'm like, mercury? And I looked it up, and yes, there's mercury in it. And in Germany, it isn't. So I was really thinking, since he put so many into that spot, not the vaccine itself, but did the mercury cause that? My cell phone is giving me warnings, 10% battery. Should I disappear all over a sudden? Guys, you know what it is. So yeah, and then I've been running around going to vets here, and I said, "Can you get me a mercury-free vaccination?" And because Fatty got that too from this guy. And this was in 2018, and we had to travel to the US and to the South, and he said, "Yeah, you should vaccinate against this and against that and this, and you need the rabies vaccination again. Can't be older than 3 years to cross the border." And so, is this related? I don't know, guys. But guys, I have to stop. My battery's dying as always. But I'll do this again shortly. And thanks so much. We have more likes than we have viewers right now. We're almost an hour. It's getting darker here. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for your prayers for Apollo and for the support that many of you have given me for his vet bills. You're absolutely awesome. And I hope you're all doing great. Give all your pets that you have a hug from me, and I hope to see you soon. And I'm going inside. I'm working on that volcano video that I have filmed earlier, and I'm doing this live again in a few days, depending if the weather is nice. Maybe I'll walk around and I'll show you more of this area. So guys, thank you so much. Gina, she's saying Royal Canin is meant to be one of the worst. Yes, that's what I thought. And now all the veterinarians in Canada sell it in their stores as the veterinarian formulated thing. Although it's a supermarket food, right? I'm doing more research on this. I'll let you know. Thanks, guys. I have to close this now or I'll be cut off. And I want this video to be able to be saved so that it uploads on YouTube later so that other people that didn't see the live can see it too. So guys, Bye-bye, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, where is the button? I don't know where to stop it. I'll click on that cross. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Well, I have